Eaton, Decker,
Here.
Stacks, Hannaford,
Here.
Ramirez,
Here.
Starks,
Here.
Lever.
Here.
Quorum is, okay. Item 3, approval of minutes of the December 9th, 2025 regular meeting. Give everybody a minute to review those. Are there any comments, discussion, questions for the minutes? Jeremy, we have on the agenda it says December 9th. The minutes are dated December 10th. I just caught that just now. Do you want to fix it?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking to you.
Top of the minutes,
The
it says
top,
December 10th.
yeah, the top of the
Oh,
minute
okay.
says December 10th. So was our meeting
On the 9th
on
or the
the
10th.
9th or the 10th? I can't recall.
It was supposed to be,
I say even on number 3, it mentions the 9th in the minutes.
Right,
Yeah, well, it says the 10th up here.
yeah.
yeah, we moved it a day. Let me just go through.
I don't have my calendar with me, or I could have told you.
December 10th is a Wednesday.
Yeah, we moved it from December 9th to December 10th. So I'll correct that.
So on the agenda, it should read December the 10th.
Yes.
Does someone want to make a motion to correct that agenda item?
I'll make the motion to correct the, from the 9th to the 10th.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Damien made the motion, Kale seconded. All in favor, roll call vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 4, approval of financials.
So it's about just the approval of the
Yeah.
Yeah,
minutes
you
itself.
approved the date.
Pardon me?
You just approved the date change, you didn't approve the
I'll make the motion that we approve minutes.
second.
Oh, I thought we just did all that.
Well, you approved the correction.
Oh, okay.
You didn't actually
Thank you.
approve the.
Thank you, gotcha. Okay. Damien made the motion to approve the minutes of the December 10th meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Bo seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Now moving on to item 4. Approval of financials to February 28th, 2026. Any questions, or Jeremy, would you like to?
Really just a more important thing because especially with us being at March 3rd, we don't receive the bank account statements for February yet, so we do have that. But if you look at really the profit loss tells you the most. It's the one.
Or comparable to last year?
Yeah, and we're doing good on fundraising. It should be an increase this year, and there was only one from the previous year that wasn't sure about being able to because their corporation changed, but they just sent an email, actually last night, asking for a W-9 from us. So I assume that means we're probably going to get their funding. So that's good. And then everything else is good. I just did the transfer of last year's funds that we had that we keep in the industrial authorities account because it has interest that builds up. Did that transfer and the buildup that you'll see in where it says WCIDA holding on the balance sheet is what is building up for this particular area. And I don't know, Dana, if you're staying afterwards for a little bit, because I was going to kind of explain some things. But yeah, our fiscal year is September 1st to August 31st, so it kind of gets a little confusing on some of that, but I'll explain how that all comes together and is how it is.
And I take it that your audit is not back yet.
Oh, the audit is back to go to the industrial authority.
Okay.
They're the ones, there's no finance, but usually the industrial authority is the one who gets that and reviews that.
Okay.
And then I report it to you all after. So.
Any questions, comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the financials to February 28th, 2026.
Bo made the motion to approve the financials. Do I have a second?
Second.
Kale seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 5, update, discussion, possible action to be a pass-through for the Southern Plains Grassland Summit scheduled for May 27th to the 29th, 2026, and the memorandum of agreement is attached to your packet at the end. Jeremy, do you want me to explain this, or do you want
Yeah,
to?
I'll have you explain it, but I will also inform what I've done. I first talked with the industrial authority, since they are officially the public trust in this situation. Randy was fine with however it can work out, but the suggestion was to contact Janet Walker, so I did contact her, and we talked that it's fine that the Economic Development Committee is allowed to be a pass-through. The only reason why we would have considered the industrial authority is because some of the sponsorship, I believe, that Kay would be receiving for this summit would come from state agencies who go through OMES, and so you have to be a vendor set up in there, which I have calls that I've made to OMES with no response as of yet. I got another number that a friend who used to be the head of OMES, no longer with them, but told me to contact that person and see if we are indeed in their system. I believe that we are, as the Industrial Development Authority, but also doing business as Economic Development Committee. So I think we'll be fine to have that pass through. Just may take, with OMES, it could be a week or two to get it all officially done, just getting a hold of the people. But we as a group, with no issues in an auditing situation, Janet Walker gave the green light.
So I had asked Jeremy if Woods County Economic Development could serve as the fiduciary for the Grassland Summit, because they already have a good website, and we wanted to have online registration and also be able to post the program for the summit online. And so we're working that up right now. And I've actually already received sponsorship funds for the summit. All of the handout that I gave you guys, all of those entities listed on the front are sponsors, either in cash or in kind, and several of them are state agencies, Conservation Commission, Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation, High Plains RCMP has already sent money. Nature Conservancy's got a commitment that's a minimum of $5,000. We also were approved for a grant through tourism tax, and I know that USDA, NRCS, Working Lands for Wildlife, and then also Pheasants and Quail Forever will be coming up with funds. So we've got quite a bit coming in. And then the planning committee voted to, once all the registrations come in, all of the sponsorship funds come in, all of the bills are paid, whatever residual is left, we're going to establish an account with Freedom West that will be labeled Grassland Summit, and it'll just be a holding account at Upstate Bank. I've got actually another account similar to that set up for the Arts Alliance, and it's similar to what we did for the swimming pool project. So we've served as a fiduciary for several, but just to clean it up, and primarily because Woods County already had their OMES stuff in place and the website that's functioning well, we decided to go that way. So anyway, the memorandum of agreement was what the auditor recommended, so it lays out who the parties are, the duties and roles of each. The purpose is, of course, related to the purpose of Woods County Economic Development, and then the period that it's in force, and the signatories involved. Does anybody have any questions?
Do we need to make within the motion, do we need to say anything once we get the final approval through OMS, or approve, or?
OMES is primarily because we've got state agencies that are going to be committing funds, and Woods County Economic Development has got to have an account with OMES before they will allow any money to go.
Well, I guess do we need to say something to ensure that we've got the account? You said you think we have one, but.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be able to set up a vendor with them.
Either way? Okay.
Yeah, that's not a problem, even if we didn't have funds coming that way. If we don't by chance have it, or it's not to their liking as the Economic Development Committee, I'll just set it up anyway for future anything that we would need to, just so we're good there. I think the important thing for us is making sure that it is, and Kay, I haven't read fully, but that we are really just a pass-through.
Yes.
She is using our website, or wants to have a page on the website, so that you may want to also vote on that. That it's fine to have the summit on the website, and that whatever funds that are left over, that,
That's in there, the residual, yes.
yeah, so that's really the important part, so we just kind of understand what Woods County Economic Development is for this particular summit.
It's similar to like the turkey hunt, is the best way to describe it. Money in, money out.
The only difference is the turkey hunt is a continuation each year, so we do keep those funds, and that we is actually the industrial
Right.
authority. In this particular case, this is a one and done for at least 2026.
Right.
Not saying that there won't be any others, and we may be the pass-through for those, but when this one ends, and if there's any funds left over, those funds will go back to
Right.
the summit.
There probably will be another Grassland Summit in a couple of years, but I don't know that it'll be here. I don't have any control over that. I felt like we were lucky to be able to get it here this time. And so, regardless, wherever it is, we'll give whoever wants to be in charge of it the next time. They'll have that residual money to kind of start off with.
And since our wording is, we're fine with putting it on the website without the approval, because originally when creating the website, it was anything that would be in economic development. So this, although the topic is not necessarily considered economic development, the event itself is definitely a driver for economic development.
We're They're anticipating a minimum of 300 attendees, but could be as many as 500. Obviously, not all of them will be staying here, but a good number of them will be. So we've got hotels, restaurants, gas, whatever, for 3 days. We have a bus tour that's going to go to the Wildlife Refuge, Fish Hatchery, and then another bus tour that will go south of Alba to Legacy Ranch down on the river.
I assume, I'm not sure, someone let me know, but in this particular situation, you're tied to it, so do you vote still as well?
I will abstain on this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as the chain of who would be signing this agreement with Eaton and Stats not here, as they're the chair and vice chair, I will wait for Jeremy Eaton to come back and have him sign the agreement if you do agree to make it a pass.
Any questions, comments on item 5?
I'll make a motion to approve a pass-through for the Southern Plains Grasslands Summit scheduled for May 27th through the 29th, and approve the memorandum of agreement.
I'll second that.
Bill made the motion, Damian seconded. All in favor, and let's have a roll call vote for this. Damian?
Aye.
Bo?
Yes.
Kale?
Yes.
Yes. And I will abstain. Motion carries. Item 6, update, discussion, possible action on revolving loan fund through USDA. Jeremy?
That's really more of a discussion point, and the possibility of putting it on the website. But we have about 16,000. I was able to get it extended to the end of July. We had a possible applicant that's still unsure. They may have the funding that they need. So we're probably, my plan would be nearing mid-May to the end of May. If we have no interest in that 16,000 to advertise a little with the publicly. However, bringing it to yourself and obviously with the paper, if you know of anyone, this is for profit. It is not a nonprofit or just know it's for profit existing, and we have done for new as well. But it's an application process that they submit, goes through a revolving loan fund committee that gives their suggestions to the industrial authority, and they make the approval or disapproval on these loans that are low interest. I think our highest is 4.5%. Yeah, I believe that's our highest loan that we've done, and I think 5 years is the longest that we have the loan.
Do I remember, can that be used for equipment or
Yeah.
operation, anything?
Yeah, it pretty much anything. Obviously, if someone, like a dispensary, we wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
do, but by our rules and regulations, the examples that we have, new business, it was for the startup. One was for equipment, and the other one is for getting a certification. So that's just examples of what this can be used for.
Comments or questions?
We still got a little bit left.
I know, that's exciting. Do you need us to,
No, there's nothing. I just wanted,
Okay.
it was a discussion point to
Okay.
bring it to your attention, and also if there's anybody who may
sure,
know,
okay.
feel free to pass that information along.
Moving on, item 7, update, discussion, possible action on 2026 Lieutenant Governor's turkey hunt.
This situation is also more of a discussion and to just kind of reach out, especially to University or county commissioners, America's Oasis, please go ahead. Of course, we have that one person that we have going through that is coming, and then Kale also. If there's anything, I like to say, I reach out to the businesses and I reach out to certain leaders in certain areas to see if there's guests they want to invite. My number one, as I've stated before in the past, is if you do have a guest, so like Bo, if you have 2 guests that you want to invite, that's great as long as there's somebody that can be their point of contact and they're not just kind of sitting around and wondering what's going on next and, you know, take advantage of that opportunity.
And the schedule was pretty much like always.
It's the 15th through the 17th of April. The 15th itself, when I took over, wanted to give community involvement, so we do a retail workshop that's open to anyone. It's been successful the last 3 years, so we're continuing on. We do actually have a speaker from OSU that's going to come and talk about using AI in your business and e-commerce, setting up your own website to do orders online. There also may be a branding, marketing piece that's involved there. That will be on April 15th. The time, I believe, we did officially establish as 11 to 2. And so that will be in this room on the 15th. Guests usually arrive the afternoon. They will meet at the Sherrill Barn, that's the headquarters, and they'll meet their guides, and there'll be, any of you being part of this board are welcome to go to that, but it's not like the dinner. The dinner itself on Thursday will take place, the reception, if you will, or just really the gathering at 5:30 this year. It was 6:30 last year, but because Lieutenant Governor needs to come to us before Woodward this particular year, he's going to start early. He'll probably speak at about 6, and 6:30 is when the dinner will start.
That's Thursday the 17th,
The Thursday, the 16th.
16th.
Yes. That also just determined, so Kay's hearing about this for the first time. She's on the Turkey Hunt Committee, which we meet next week, but it will be at the Sherrill Barn, the dinner. We were looking at the arena, but in conversations, it was suggested maybe the arena would be best for next year. Kind of get it all situated where it needs to be first, and you know, then we can revisit that. Also, the 17th is when the Eggs and Issues happens. Legislators will be here. Our guests can you know, hear about that. And then they break off into meetings with also an opportunity after talking with Anna. We have a couple of guests that wanted to go to the sand dunes and visit America's Oasis. So we'll open that up to anyone. You know, if they were planning to leave, that's fine. But if they wanted to swing by and do that, Anna's going to be able to provide rides out into the sand dunes.
On the Friday.
On that Friday.
We have a new business out there that
Yeah.
provides
That's-
guided tours and stuff.
Yeah.
What day are you doing? Is
This-
it Wednesday afternoon or?
Thursday is the tour of Alva.
Okay.
And that will, so far, the arena will be part of that tour. I believe Kay had suggested the pool being part of that tour.
And the
then-
senior citizens needs to be also.
Okay, so that's an added one that I was not aware of.
Yeah,
But
I think it needs to be. It's
Okay.
brand new.
there was talk of the nightlight. It would start at Alva Beer Company. That's where lunch will be. The university was also discussed. So it's really about how much time we have in between. I think an hour, 30 minutes to an hour will be devoted to the arena. So it's really
Any other comments or questions about the turkey hunt? What are our numbers looking like, Jeremy, right now? You know, offhand, on guests?
Well, there's a lot of people that were invited, but I think we're at about 7 or 8 right now
Okay,
that are confirmed.
right.
Some of those are like the one that's coming with Anish, he doesn't want to hunt, so golfing would be what he is interested in. So we're going to try to set up something where there's an opportunity to golf. One other guest who's definitely coming, she is not interested in hunting or golfing, so I think she's just going to do the tour and things like that. There are a handful of guests that are coming that will be hunting, but they will not be staying in the hotel. So, I mean, it's open for a lot of opportunities. For the hunting part has not filled up, and the hotel part has not filled up yet. So, and then I've reached out to a lot of different groups. So aerospace, those involved there, reached out to see if there's any guests that they want. The arena, Larry talked with him. He's going to get a couple of guests that he wants to have. And then, Cargill Salt reached out to. They have not responded. And I'm going to actually visit with Plain Plastics and see if they may have someone. Wanted to focus aerospace and energy on this particular time around and see. And then Kate, she wanted to focus on a lot of the heads of state agencies and other groups and organizations. And I think a handful of them, because state agencies, just from what I remember at Commerce, are not allowed to do these 3-day events, but they can come and do the dinner. So we'll have probably a handful of those people coming to the dinner itself.
Troy Humper coming back.
Troy is not with the group Land Run anymore. He's with a different organization. So I'm happy that if you want me to invite him, I just don't have his new contact information, but I do have, I think, his personal number. So I haven't had anybody ask,
Or I mean, I'm assuming it's his personal one.
but I'm happy to definitely
He
invite
was
him.
always so good to explain about,
Yeah, he's good at explaining, and he's also good, I mean, Jared Cooper and Jared Cooper being from the Oklahoma Department of Commerce, we kind of have the same belief. Invite people who could benefit your area, but don't expect it to happen overnight. So, they come for 3 years, that third year may be the golden ticket for it. And I have always been a believer of that, just because economic development, acts like it moves fast, but moves slow.
well, and I think Troy knows enough about this gelling statewide that if there's something that makes sense up here, he's
Yeah.
gonna always have that in his.
Him being with a new organization, of course,
Step out the door, get it to city.
would be interesting. And I don't know what that dynamic of Land Run, that's another thing. I kind of had to avoid some issues with inviting certain people. I had a few that I wanted to invite, but because we had other guests that other people wanted to invite, those guests look at them as competitors and don't want them to be invited. So with that said, I had to put a hold of 2 different groups there that we have these other people that are our guests, and they'll be our guests this time around. And I told our people who wanted to invite those guests to make sure that, if they're fine with us inviting these others, and they were not. So, and we catered towards them. We don't want, it'd probably be uncomfortable for the other group too. So competition.
We kind of had to think a little creatively this time because the lieutenant governor scheduled that flipped, and this is his last, canal's last year,
Yes.
so things may be completely different next year, but anyway.
And I talked with the Department of Commerce that I want this to be a one-time thing, to have it go back to the way it would be with the Lieutenant Governor. This was a request from Woodward to have him end his Thursday in Woodward so he could stay the night and hunt with them Friday morning.
So, there's one other question that I had for you, Jeremy. What the heck was it? It'll come to me, it's not that important. Well, it'll come to me when we have our turkey hunt meeting, but, anyway, any questions, comments? And all of you, I hope, will come. One of the things that I feel is so important with this event, I kind of had to explain it to our relatively new chamber board 2 years ago. It's like you're having a party at your house, and when guests come, you need to talk to them and visit with them about where they're from, what they do, and talk up our community and county, all of the assets that we have to share. We're selling ourselves to guests who are coming here from elsewhere. And so the more folks who are there who can do that, the better. Okay, moving on. Item 8, Woods County Industrial Development Authority update. Jeremy?
Not really much to update because their meeting is next Tuesday. They did not meet this morning. They had to move that. Really, their conversations will be turkey hunt, the revolving loan fund, and talk about if we have opportunities to do something with funds that we just don't know yet. And then also no word on the Freedom Beautification Project grants that were submitted. Well, T-Mobile, that was a wash. It wasn't going to be happening with them. They seemed to. I just did some data and looked and reviewed at what they do give funding towards, and I'm going to still keep on applying because maybe go with that. my thought is Andy Dufresne from Shawshank
That's an
Redemption.
absolute
If
no
I-
if you don't apply.
Yeah, and I keep on sending that letter. Eventually, they'll have to do it.
Yeah.
But they don't go with populations like that. It's not eye candy for them. The lowest population that I've seen from Oklahoma was Guinan, and their population, I believe, is more than Woodward. So, but with that said, keep on trying unless we get the grant funding from.
So you don't think Alva would meet the I mean, it's not big enough to even try to apply for?
Maybe.
Oh, I'd still try if an opportunity had come across, if Alva, because I send it to everybody when it comes out, and I say, if there's something with Winoka, if, Freedom or Alva. Freedom was the one where we have worked on this project, and I said, well, it doesn't hurt trying, it just, how I've developed it to this point, it's just a few more hours each time. But they selected. This previous time around, I thought we may stand a chance because they didn't pick anybody from Oklahoma. In fact, I think the last two they didn't. Then the one before that was Guinan. They did give, and I didn't like that happened because I think they also like to see those little pins on the map.
Yeah.
So already Northwest, how?
That's way different from Northwest.
Yeah, I mean, they look at it.
Well, I know what they look like.
Yeah.
It's not even
This
close.
isn't annual, right?
This is a quarterly thing
Oh,
that
okay.
they do, and I've submitted since June of last year,
What size grant is, or up to what? amount?
50,000.
So, Jeremy, would they ever, you think, consider a project, if it was multi-site, but it actually was the whole county.
Well, see, it's hometown grant and it's really catered towards main streets and the
Okay.
downtowns of those main streets. Freedom was so interesting because I was bringing this whole package of a walking tour downtown with banners. Wayfinding was the main focus there because they just need something to grab the attention to even look at the downtown. That branched to landscaping, then to a playground, then to redoing the basketball court, then taking the tennis courts and turning them into a community garden. So it's gone rather big, and that's when applying for the TSEP one, which I thought was a little rushed, but they really wanted it, and it's okay. We haven't heard back from them, but that part is about the active living. So the banner portion and the landscaping wouldn't be allowed in that particular one, but the playground, the community garden, the basketball court would be. But if by chance we get lucky and we get funding for that, I do also have a possibility of someone matching. So we'll see if we get lucky. And then I also have meetings with the mayor and told her, if we have to, we do some fundraising. And there is a Main Street grant that opens up in September. And that I think is, I believe, $25,000, up to $25,000
I can't remember.
for network, which is what we are as a Main Street program. And then that, if I can get that solidified, but they would be matching. So we would have to raise $25,000
So-
for them to match $25,000, then we can go to
I'm going to tell you
the
something
other match.
that you just remember it, but you're gonna have to talk to Brett Smith at the bank. Probably 20 years ago, we had a fundraising campaign for the city park, the Veterans Memorial in Freedom, and there were funds remaining in an account at Freedom Bank that could be used as match for a project like this.
I will ask you that.
Yeah, just tell him it was something that Pat Turner and Kay
Okay.
worked on, he'll remember. That's been an awfully long time ago, but yeah, we had that left over. I think it wasn't a bunch of money, but you just will have it.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. That's it with that. If I move on to the.
Item 9, your director report for Woods County Economic Development Committee.
As I always point out, I send them monthly, so if you have details you want of anything, do you want to speak of anything at this time, or just? Okay, but we've worked on some things that.
Oh, to talk about like the railroad and stuff?
That we could, if you wanted.
Okay. So, there's a project that Jeremy has really helped me with, and his point of contact. What I've been trying to do for a year now is to get the railroad back to Winoka. And they quit stopping there because of there's no restaurants. The motel was, bad. And since then, new ownership, remodeled the motel. And right now, currently, BNSF was picking up all the railroaders, bringing them to Alva, Woodward, Enid, Fairview, spending a lot of money when we do have a motel in Winoka. So we've put an email together, and we got it back. And so yes, with the help of Jeremy, we really have sat there and brainstormed on what we can do. I wrote the email. His point of contact really kind of pushed it over the edge. Now it's in Mike's hands, the owner of the motel, to accommodate, but also it's helping the restaurants, right? All of even Fairview. Freedom, right? Because I put all the restaurants around, and because one of the main things they said is They didn't stop in Winoka is because we didn't have enough food, places to eat, 24 hours, you know, and so, anyway, so Mike is working on his end to make that happen, you know, so it still helps Alva, you know, Winoka, all.
Which right before I came in here, she sent an email, so.
Oh, yes.
How did they get, when they stop in Winoka, how would the crew get from Winoka to Freedom or Alba?
So currently, they've hired a third party, and there's these little vans that,
Oh,
they come from Enid, I believe, they're based out of Enid,
okay.
and they come in, and they'll pick them up, and they'll take them, and then in the morning, they'll go back into Alva or wherever they're at, pick them up, bring them back to the railroad,
How often does that happen?
every day, all day,
So that's a job opportunity or business opportunity for somebody to.
yes. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity with the railroad just coming back in
Okay.
general,
Yeah.
for everyone, right? Not
Yeah.
just, and so I think that we've been needing that.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's consistent, right? Because they need those rooms 365 days a year, so, and food, and
Laundry services.
laundry services, and, you know, now we can hopefully open up more breakfast places,
Yeah.
and such, so I've been working on that for a year, and it was the help of.
Good for you. That was
Jeremy.
Winoka's economy for
Mm-hmm.
a
Yeah,
100
for years, yeah, for years, and then they just up and left, and then, you know,
Yeah.
And also, 2 new businesses.
So we have 2 new businesses. One is DAR, so the Dune Adventures Hut Rentals. And they just started this last weekend, and they had 4 bookings right away. And they have 12, they've teamed up with Polaris. They're based out of my office, they're using my office, and then 2 of our bays. And they have 12 Polarises that they will either rent out to you. They do guided tours, they'll do corporate retreats. So if you want to bring a crew from Northwestern or wherever, you know, they can do that. And so that has been needed as well, just for, you know, family and friends to come in, and they want to go explore the little Sahara State Park that gets almost 300,000 people every year, or 200, 300, I don't know, I can't remember. But a lot of tourists from all over the United States.
We'll work with them and continue to data gather whatever they need there.
So when is the next UTV takeover?
So we've got, actually, so UTV Invasion is October 1st through the 4th, I believe.
Okay,
So
so
I have to look at the calendar.
Comes on the heels of the big cruise and car show. Okay.
Yes, and, but we have 12 confirmed events in Winoka at America's Oasis that will bring, you know, anywhere from 500 people to hopefully 12,000 people to Woods County, you know.
Could you send those by email to all of us? So that we can spread the information to businesses here. Many of those people will be coming through Alva. I think it's important as we're trying to attract.
I've volunteered at many of those. And
Oh, yes.
she's up for anybody who wants to volunteer. So,
Absolutely, we need volunteers. We actually, yeah,
you know,
Let us know.
to help with that.
And so like dates, what it is, and what the estimated visiting population would
Sure.
be.
Yes, and I do that already. I have an email already scripted because I send it to the sheriff's department, the Little Sarah State Park, so I send it to all the other groups, but absolutely will send it to you guys, and that way you know.
Yeah.
Kiowa has actually reached out to me as well and says, how can we make money? How can we make,
Sure.
benefit from people that are coming through Kansas? They come
Right.
right through Kiowa, and
Right.
okay.
Yeah, is that all right?
yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, guys, I got
He has,
I gotta go pretty quick too, we're gonna hit.
I think we're at the end.
Yeah,
so.
Okay,
good working there.
Thank you.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Jeremy, anything else on your,
No.
okay. Item 10, new business. Anybody have any new business? Moving on, item 11, announcements. I'm just gonna say a little bit, Jeremy, on the fire science deal too, if you don't have anything. So, in addition to the Grassland Summit, which is at the end of May, and just so you guys know, this is the result of in 2018, USDA finally decided that they needed to be focusing a lot more of the public's attention on the Great Plains grasslands, which runs from Canada to the Rio Grande, to basically let the public know that it is our Amazon rainforest in terms of carbon sequestration. It is what cleans our air, cleans our water for this part of the northern hemisphere, if you will. So we needed to take care of it, and it is threatened by, we call it the Great Green Glacier, the encroachment of woody species such as eastern red cedar, salt cedars, Bradford pears, woody species that were not originally part of the Great Plains. Also sprawl from urbanization. And then we have cultivation is also breaking up grasslands that probably doesn't need to be. So there are threats to the Great Plains grasslands. The northern states were able to really launch with this whole initiative. Great Plains Grasslands Initiative is what it is, GPGI through USDA, prior to COVID. Then when the pandemic hit, that pretty much slowed everything down. So the Dakotas and Nebraska they're about a year to 2 years ahead of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas when it comes to awakening the public to why this is important. So as part of what I do with Comanche Pool, I talk about the grasslands. Comanche Pool covers 7 million contiguous acres of grasslands in 8 Kansas counties and 7 northwestern Oklahoma counties. And for those who don't know, it's named after one of the cattle syndicates that was here when this was still grazing prior to statehood, when it was Cherokee Outlet. So there's a lot of rural communities in our service area, Comanche Pool service area, that relies heavily on grazing, and that's what Comanche Pool is. It's a grazing organization, and we're just trying to make sure that the broader public understands the importance of the Great Plains grasslands. And I feel fortunate that we were able to get the group to come here to have the first summit for the Southern Plains, which is Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. We'll probably have some from northeast New Mexico and southeast Colorado. We had a fire school here on September 24th, and I was shocked at how many rural fire departments came from the Texas Panhandle, northeast New Mexico, way far west, Oklahoma Panhandle, southern Kansas. So we're likely to have some of that here for the Grassland Summit. And then August 4th, 5th, and 6th is the Great Plains Fire Science Association Conference. And that conference has been going on for many years. They stagger it from Texas to Canada every year. So they were happy that Alva has the arena available because that will take in Kansas and Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. I think last year they were in San Antonio, so they go all over. But there will be at least 250 to 300 people here for that event. And there will be equipment demonstrations, fire equipment demonstrations, so your emergency management people, Damien, your rural fire departments, all of Woods County fire departments definitely need to come. And one of the things that they talk about is, and I know it's going to be a topic on one of the breakout sessions, is how can we improve multi-state radio communication comes to wildfire fighting, how can we develop more prescribed burns associations to try and reduce the amount of fuel for wildfires such as the cedars. So anyway, I'm excited about those people coming. That is managed by Kansas State Extension and their fire science people, OSU Extension, their fire science and range ecology people, they work together to do all of this. So I'm just the local person on the ground that's helping them coordinate things. So anyway, we're excited about that, and absolutely welcome any of you guys to come out. Dr. Hannaford, I've talked with Jack. I've got one committed ag ed student who's going to serve on the support team for the Grassland Summit. I'm trying to get at least 3 more ag ed students to step up because that'll look good in their portfolios to serve on that support team, so I can give them their duty list and turn loose out there in the arena. And Avery Monroe from Protection Kansas is already committed. And
I've got one in mind, I'll talk to her.
yeah, please. I really want to bring those kids into the fold so that they can see, all of the other agencies that will be at the summit. We'll have other academic programs here from other places, federal and state agencies, and then producers. But it's just a good opportunity for students in rangeland ecology, wildlife conservation, any of that, to participate in. And I will give them all certificates and letters of recommendation they can put in their portfolio after they've completed the summit support team work. So anyway, that's all I got. Anybody else?
Last week we had our first AI conference, which went really well. Jeremy, you spoke at?
I did.
Yeah. Several business folks, industry folks, but then also we had speakers from Southwestern, Panhandle State, OU, us, and NOC. So really good start for our first one. I think they said they had about, I want to say 60 people there. Total.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
It was good, yeah,
Very nice.
and I think important.
yeah, I think there's a lot that you can build off of it.
Sure.
And I also think you probably have it every other month. It'll be something new.
Yeah, I think Dr. James, she's thinking maybe every other year right now.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about what NOC anticipates doing with their Mackenzie Scott?
No. I think a lot of them are trying to wait a little bit. I've heard some will put in some facilities, but most of them will probably just put it in Dallas.
Anything else? Damien, anything going on at the courthouse?
No,
You guys just hang out and drink coffee all day?
pretty much.
All right, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A second.
Bo made the motion, Damien second, all in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.